Here we go, installation of the RMAX 4 rear hard doors, the whole full door. So got everything ready to go here, and I did a couple things. I put everything on tables, laid everything out. In the unboxing video, you've seen this stuff already. So let's get to it. As I walk here, remember to go check out Facebook for the Yamaha RMAX page and share pictures of your unit and everything. So one of the first steps was take the rear doors off. Did that. That was easy. Just some sockets, 4 bolts. Socket and 4 bolts. It says to take the canopy off, the roof. I always just loosen them if I can, but that's off and ready to go. It says to put the rear glass on last. Mine's already on. We're going to mess with that if we have to. I'm going to leave it on. I'm not going to take it off just because a piece of paper says I should. Yamaha's directions, we just don't trust them that well yet. So what it asks to do right off the bat is put your rivet clips in. Once that door's off, it's pretty much just a bare column pillar here. You put a couple more of these on here, just like so. Just kind of slide and pop them on. This fits up onto the machine. Now, one thing I noticed right off the bat, and I noted this in my other video, I was curious, is if you have the rear doors on, can you still have just the front halves for like summer? And it appears you cannot, which really sucks. That would have been nice to have that option. Now, I'm going to see if I can customize this probably someday for the summertime to make this work without having to swap all this off and everything. But interesting note right off the bat. So here we are. This just literally molds, fits right on to that square part there, real easy. And then you'll see on the inside, the directions were slightly odd on this. There's 3 holes on the inside here. We've got these little screw rivets here. So basically these little guys are going to go in here, hold that in, and you'll screw that on. 3 of them done. Next step coming up. All right, we got our little guys in. That's a small Phillips bit to put those in. I dropped things a couple times, so I just put something down easily identifiable if I drop a screw, instead of dropping a screw on some black and trying to find that somewhere. So just a little tip, worked out well for me. So then you put a screw in that spring clip that you put in. Now this is all in, ready to roll. It says to remove this back bolt. The directions say start with the driver's side. I just jumped into the passenger because it's right here. So that's just what I'm doing. But I just came across another step here that was kind of interesting, where, notice, these are thread forming screws and will require effort and care to be threaded in straight. So that's this guy here going into that hole, which doesn't line up at all once this thing goes on, but that's not threaded, I looked. So we're going to take the drill and we're going to be really careful and go nice and straight, and do that carefully like it says. Next step was dropping in the filler piece here. So I have the rear window installed, and it was kind of a bear. I had to definitely finesse to get it in down there, but it did just pop in with some force. So I did not have to remove the rear glass, and I don't see why I would have to at this point, as long as I get the other one in. If it's super stubborn down here, you can take this bolt out, slide that out a little bit, and sneak it past there. I think that was the only real trouble spot, but we got that ready to roll. The next step then is to take the push pins here and basically just pop them in some locations around these frames here. It says to do 9 of them, and that must be for both sides. There's only 3 on here. So anyways, next step. All right, with the filler pieces, back to the rear glass still installed issue. I did find out there's, when they said 9 of these push pins, well, a couple of them are hidden. One is right up in here, and that has to go down. So I did really have to loosen up the roof pretty good. And then there's one in here. Without loosening some stuff up, I couldn't get to it. So what I did, I just loosened this whole pillar. I took that off. That was off. and then right there, I had to take that bolt off. Make sure you keep them, don't lose them. But with that loose and that off, I'm basically able to take a little needle nose and pop that in there. So that's the trick for that if you already have the rear glass installed, which probably most of you do because this has been available. So just another tip here. Next, we have the final filler piece, which is this upper panel. It just popped right in, super easy. And then there's 3 rivets. And one easy way, I just took the other one to see. So we got one rivet there, 1 rivet there. So easy way to kind of guide where they are is you just got to get your hands up there. But done. So once again, to fit that in, you have to take all that off. Well, to get the rivets in the top of these filler panels here, there's a few, so you also have to take this off here. I took it completely out of that spring rivet. That gives you some more play there with that. Along with the roof brackets, I loosened the middle one, loosened the front middle one, completely took these off, and it gave me enough wiggle room, of course, with that off. And then back here with this stuff off, I had enough play to get all these filler pieces in. So we've got those in. Got the middle piece in here next it went with. You've got all the push pins that go each side in some spots. Once again, some go down underneath in here, and yeah, it was a pain or whatever, but I got it. I'm not taking the whole thing apart just to do this. So that's where we're at there. Next step is we got a couple screws going in there where we already had put our spring clips in prior. So boom, that's that. And then all these filler pieces are in. And then I think we're going to get to hopefully a fun part here. We'll see. We got to the step involving the rivets. And the directions are really unclear for this. So the part for the rivet is number 11. So step number 11, install 1 blind rivet to join each of the assemblies together. Figure 3. Figure 3 only outlines locations for the push rivets, nothing else. So looking around, right here, where the 2 pieces join, right there, we've got a location for a push rivet. I'm not doing anything permanent yet at all whatsoever until I know for a fact that, this is going to be good to go. But that's one location for a rivet. The other one's actually going to be on top underneath the roof. So that should be fun to get to. Maybe I will have to take the roof off, but there's where the rivets go. Next step here, number 12, thread in 4, bolt number 20 into the C-pillar ROPS. So step 12 of figure 5 here, and it is the, there we go. It's the rear hinge bolts. So those were not threaded. So once again, take your drill and be really steady with some force on it, nice and straight into the hole. They went in pretty easy. And then it says to take them out, and we're going to put a door on. Cool. Nice. Check that out. We got a door. Ooh, says have a helper. I didn't have a helper. I just kind of heaved it up on my knee and then kind of slowly threaded some screws, and it wasn't that bad. I got it. Helper definitely would have helped. For sure would have helped. But we had a step here to install the rear striker. The picture in the directions was kind of odd. I didn't quite understand it at first. Now the driver's seat will slide, obviously, so that will be easier over there. This is like the most difficult part of the process, was getting these 2 bolts started in there, right in there, that go whatever, self-explanatory. This just screwed together in the directions. That's easy. But we got a door. Should we get in? Hell yeah, we're gonna get in. Give me a second. All right. I don't have the straps on, but it's definitely sturdy. 4 bolts holding it in, it ain't going anywhere. Okay, got to give it a good slam. Oh, that is nice and tight. Directions say leave those loose back there for adjusting. I just did it, and wow, I'm happy. That is solid. Should we play with the window? Wow, that seems really cheap. I hope they saw So just these brackets. Pretty good amount of air. I can dig that. What we gotta do here to flip them open, I don't know. We'll screw with all that stuff another day. But wow, look at that. Goddamn door. Oh, nice. So I'm sure there's an adjustment for this. The door, you gotta really slam it to close it, which that was better this time. I don't know, probably loosen up over time too, but that was one little thing that happened installing that door by myself. There's a sharp edge on this something, but whatever. Hell, high water, blood, guts, no glory. We're getting doors today. One cool thing I just noticed, as in an earlier mention, about whether or not the factory front half doors will work. I'm not going to cut into this thing yet, but I don't see any reason why. You just got to notch a little teeny piece right there, and then all of this should work together in off-road harmony. So you can still get, in the summertime, leave those on, have the front doors open. But wow, I'm just standing here smiling, like smiling. Nice. So as far as the directions that are left, it says do the other door, which we're gonna do. And then there's some filler plates here, like a final step, just basically filling in some holes by the looks of it. Let's do that real quick. Last couple steps here. So we got a square filler plate for up there. That's gonna pop in. Earlier when we removed the rear striker plate, it says to keep the bolts. And then we got this plastic piece. So that goes in there, 2 bolts, fills that, done. And then what is, like, seriously the last step here that I can figure out, I don't know what we got, is doing this. So we just loop that around, tighten that up, and then it says to remove a screw in the actual door window, the one closest to that knob. And then, which I did, so we just gotta basically screw that in there, and we've got a tethered door, just like that. Step 18, torque the hinge pin nuts. Well, I'm guessing that's these top Allen hinge pins with the nuts on the bottom. I didn't torque anything down. Literally every spec in this install came with a torque setting. These little guys down here with the plastic, you know, I didn't over-tighten them. I was careful with that. Oh, I missed a screw. I gotta put that all the way in. But otherwise, like, yeah, everything gets, you know, torqued to whatever. But last thing I was just going to do, it says remove the nut closest to the knob. Well, I'll tell you what, if we did that, this door only opens up like that far, which the way my ass is getting in there. And yeah, I mean, for kids, yeah, but what I'm thinking is I'm gonna do that corner screw instead, and then this door is gonna open plenty. So that's my tip on this. Nice. And I got some rear doors. They're in, they're done. This is everything I needed. Drill, needle nose just to kind of fish some of the little plugs, and a couple of those just for accessibility. That little Phillips bit for those little screws on the side. Don't strip those out. You'll have your leftover rear door strikes. I haven't done the rivets yet because I still got to find my rivet gun. But otherwise, a bunch of empty bags, and that was it. The driver's side door, all the plastic covers and filler plates here, I think the holes were a little off, so it was like a little bit more of a bear to actually get this one in, but it's on. And then one note, you've got adjustments on the outside. So the other door, I didn't really have to do anything. This one was like way out of whack. So I had to compensate with not just those outside hinge fasteners, but these on the inside here too. You know, you've got a little slop when they're all loosened to get it right. Once again, I did it myself. I just kind of bumped it up on my knee and heaved it up there and got it in. It wasn't that difficult. Same thing on this door. I used a different mounting point for that strap, because otherwise, once again, the door would only open. I mean, this looks like a lot in a video, but it's not. Nice. Nice. Well, that concludes this installation. We'll do some reviews, road tests later, but I'm gonna get to the front doors because I can't wait to take this thing for a rip. Thanks for watching. Remember Yamaha and RMAX on Facebook. Go check it out, and we're gonna make some more videos here for you guys. Catch you later.